Okay, so you're curious about the economics of owning a 500 million sub YouTube channel like MrBeast. You probably think you know how this works. You think it's about making a flashy video, slapping an ad on it, selling some hoodies to 12-year-olds, and checking your bank account from a yacht in Monaco. Wake up. At this scale, MrBeast is no longer just a content creator. This guy is running a multinational conglomerate operating in the attention economy. He's operating a private equity firm where the primary asset isn't real estate or software, it's human eyeballs. When you hit 500 million subscribers, you aren't playing the YouTube game anymore. You are playing the Wall Street game, the supply chain game, and the global logistics game, all wrapped in a candy-colored thumbnail. Let's tear this guy's empire down to the studs. Grab a coffee. We will examine the actual figures. First, the digital core, AdSense and high-ticket arbitrage. Most YouTubers scrape by on AdSense. For MrBeast, it's just baseline cash flow. Let's do the napkin math. Across all his channels, he pulls in roughly 2 to 3 billion views a month. YouTube takes their 45% cut off the top, the highest platform tax in the history of modern business, by the way. Assuming a blended post-tax rate of $2 to $3 per thousand views, he's printing $6 to $9 million a month just for existing. But the real digital money is in brand sponsorships. He charges anywhere from $3 to $5 million for a 60-second integration. Why would a brand pay that? Let me paint you a picture. A 30-second Super Bowl ad costs $7 million and reaches 115 million people once. A MrBeast video guarantees 150 to 200 million views, stays up forever, and comes with a parasocial endorsement from the internet's golden boy. It's pure arbitrage. Global scaling. The infinite leverage cheat code. Here is where the microeconomics get beautiful. Usually, to enter a new geographical market, a company spends hundreds of millions on localized infrastructure. MrBeast uses multi-language dubbing. Picture this. The set is built, the cars are crashed, the $4 million video budget is already spent. The video is done. Now, to reach a kid in Japan, Brazil, or France, all he has to do is hire a local voice actor and a translator. That costs maybe 15 grand per language. The cost to acquire a brand new viewer in Tokyo after he's already paid for the video in Ohio is practically zero. He is exploiting infinite operating leverage. He translates one video into 15 languages, and the return on that tiny 15 grand dubbing fee is astronomical. Next, the retail funnel and the brutal cost structure. YouTube money is great, but it has a fatal flaw. It is capped by human attention. There are only so many hours in a day and only so many people on Earth. If you want billion-dollar valuations, you don't sell ads. You sell physical consumer packaged goods. Enter Feastables. The unfair advantage, $0 CAC. To understand why Feastables is terrifying to legacy companies like Hershey or Mars, you have to understand customer acquisition cost. Imagine you or I try to start a chocolate brand. We bleed cash. We pay Mark Zuckerberg and Sundar Pichai 40% of our operating budget just to get someone to click a Facebook ad. We might spend $15 in ads just to get a customer to buy a $5 chocolate bar. You lose money on the first 3 orders and pray they keep coming back. MrBeast's acquisition cost is $0. He doesn't buy Facebook ads. Picture the play here. He builds a literal Willy Wonka chocolate factory, films a 20-minute video inside it, and tells 500 million people to go to Walmart. The shelves empty in an hour. He bypassed the entire legacy marketing industry in one breath. The brutal unit economics of chocolate. Let's break down one single chocolate bar. Imagine holding it in your hand. A standard Feastables bar retails for around $2.49. Target or Walmart buys it from him wholesale for about $1.50. Now, how much does it cost him to make it? You have raw cacao, sugar, foil, the cardboard wrapper, and shipping. In bulk, the cost to make that one bar is roughly 65 cents. So, Target pays him $1.50. It cost him 65 cents. He pockets 85 cents per bar. That is a 56% profit margin. A 56% margin on a physical food product is fantastic. But here is the kicker. Traditional food companies spend a third of their profit on marketing. MrBeast spends nothing. That money falls straight into his bank account. He is printing cash in the grocery aisle. The barrier to entry and hidden costs. But he makes so much money. Yeah, and he burns it faster than a degenerate gambler in Vegas. If you look at the media side of his business, the net margins are atrocious. Often they are zero. Sometimes they are negative. Spending $4 million on a single YouTube video sounds insane. It sounds like financial mismanagement. It isn't. It's a calculated moat. By pushing production costs to Hollywood levels, MrBeast isn't just making good videos. He is weaponizing his budget. He is turning his cash into a brick wall. Imagine you want to compete with him. You want to be the next big philanthropist game show YouTuber? Good luck. You need $5 million in liquid cash just to get to the starting line? You can't. You lose before you even pick up a camera. Amateurs look at revenue. Professionals look at the hidden expenses. Here are the brutal realities that would give you a heart attack. Depreciation. Imagine dropping a $50,000 RED camera into a swamp during a challenge. In 3 years, even the surviving gear is useless. He is constantly buying new tech. Headcount and HR nightmares. Picture an office of over 300 full-time staff. Editors, logistics managers, accountants, set builders. At a fully loaded cost of $120,000 per employee, he burns $36 million a year just to keep the lights on and pay his people. Insurance and legal. You think renting a literal train and driving it into a giant pit is easy? Imagine the insurance paperwork. The legal fees required to ensure he isn't violating federal lottery laws when giving away $1 million are crippling. Dead inventory. If a merch drop flops, he doesn't just lose the sales. Imagine a warehouse sitting full of 20,000 dead cotton hoodies. He pays monthly rent to store junk he can't sell. The health toll. Burnout is a physical liability on this balance sheet. Working 100-hour weeks for a decade destroys the human body. That isn't a metaphor. It's a systemic risk to the business. He takes all this revenue, pays these staggering costs, and takes the tiny sliver of remaining profit to throw it right back into the next video. It's the Amazon 1998 model. Defer profits today to guarantee an absolute monopoly tomorrow. Finally, systemic risks and the reality check. So, what is the MrBeast empire actually worth? 1 billion? 5 billion? 10 billion? If you value the chocolate and the media empire together, you can easily justify a multi-billion-dollar price tag. But if a private equity guy ever looked at this prospectus, he would run away screaming. Why? Because the risk profile is terrifying. Key person risk. If the CEO of Ford dies tomorrow, Ford still makes trucks. If Tim Cook gets hit by a bus, Apple still sells iPhones. If MrBeast burns out, gets canceled, or decides he wants to move to a cabin in the woods and never look at a camera again, the empire goes to zero. Instantly. Feastables dies. The channels die. The 300 employees lose their jobs. The entire billion-dollar valuation rests on the psychological stability and physical health of one single guy. That is the definition of key person risk. It makes the company functionally unsellable to a traditional buyer. Platform dependency, the tenant-farmer problem. The second existential threat is Google. MrBeast doesn't own his distribution. YouTube owns the rails. Imagine being a billionaire, but you are a tenant farmer building a mansion on someone else's land. If YouTube's management decides tomorrow that the algorithm needs to push 15-second AI videos instead of 30-minute high-budget spectacles, MrBeast starves. He has no union, no contract, and no leverage over the source code. The landlord can change the locks at any second. One algorithm update can cut his digital revenue by 60% overnight. The bottom line, MrBeast is rewriting the rules of media economics. He is competing with Disney for your entertainment time and competing with Walmart for your grocery money. But look closely at the reality of his business. It looks like a rocket ship, but the fuel cost is chasing it like a shadow. It is an engine that must constantly be fed with more cash, more explosions, and more exhaustion just to maintain its speed. Stop pedaling, and the bicycle crashes. In this specific industry, the ultimate winner isn't the guy who makes the prettiest videos, has the best lighting, or even holds the most subscribers. In the attention economy, the only factor that dictates whether you live or die is distribution control. If you rely on another man's algorithm to reach your own customers, you are always one update away from bankruptcy. Math doesn't care about your subscriber count.